Wonderful. I have a small presentation for you all. While that comes up, I'd like to thank the Digital Retail Convention for organizing this. I'd like to thank ShipRocket for sponsoring this and having us join you here. So my name is Dhruv, and I'm going to talk to you about building a D2C brand the unconventional way. Now, you've probably heard a lot about direct-to-consumer, and there are conventional ways of making a D2C brand. There are unconventional ways of building a D2C brand. There's no right or wrong. So here's my take on it, on what we've done. Before we get started, my name is Dhruv Madhok. I'm the co-founder. I'm sorry, this is a wrong slide. I think my marketing team has made a mistake here. My name is Dhruv Madhok. I'm the co-founder of Arata. That's me, and that's Julie. Arata is a chemical-free, plant-based personal care brand. And we're an internet-driven brand. We've dabbled in offline, but 99 or almost 100% of our business is actually coming from online. And as you can see from here, we're making products across categories. We've got products in oral care, in skin care, in hair care, in body care. But the one that's really taking the lead right now, we're finding a lot of product market fit, is in hair care. So like I said, Arata is a personal care brand. It's most loved for styling, concerns, maintenance, and hair solutions. So I'm going to just touch upon the few conventional ways of growing a D2C brand, or the few conventional ways of growing any business in general. Number one, have a large TAM. The conventional thought process is, if you have a very large addressable market size, a TAM is a total addressable market opportunity. If you capture just 1% of that market, you're going to build yourself a sizable business. Number two, use marketplaces as drivers. And this makes total sense, right? Because marketplaces have footfall, they already have the operations and warehousing ability, they can ship to the customer the very next day. So it makes sense to scale on marketplaces. Number three, discounting. Discounting is something that we've seen that's of all types. We're seeing 20% off, 30% off, 40% off, 50% off. People are doing buy one, get ones, and they're doing buy two, get twos. And it's really becoming, the customer is really getting spoiled for choice. The next way of conventionally building a business is to raise a lot of money and burn a lot of money. Thanks to the robust private equity, venture capital, and alternate financing solutions that are available for businesses today, a lot of brands have access to a lot of money, and they're able to use this to acquire customers aggressively. The next is to launch a bunch of products, launch products. Go to a contract manufacturer and say, you're making a shampoo with X ingredient. Why don't you make another shampoo for me with the same ingredient? We'll slap our label onto it, we'll put it in our branding, and we'll quickly launch the product for the customer. This is essentially like a growth hack to just basically increase basket sizes and get more customers and increase your product offerings. The other thing is focusing only on numbers and nothing else. And I think that this is something that a lot of businesses are doing, but I feel like this is something that's changing tremendously. Now, these are some of the growth drivers that we took to scale Arata and to build Arata over the last 3 years. Rather than focusing on large TAMs, we actually focused on small niches. And the benefits of focusing on small niches are actually quite robust. So, one, the acquisition costs of focusing on markets that are underserved are actually far more economical than those that are very generic. So for example, if we were to try and acquire every face wash and try to market our shampoo as the best shampoo in the country, it would be very, very expensive and very, very inefficient for us from a cost-effective perspective. So that's why we focused on niches. We found that, one, there was a dearth of natural, safe hairstyling options for men. So we made a plant-based, 100% organic, natural, flaxseed-based hair gel, and that hair gel has become the #1 selling product on Amazon, and the #1 on the top 100 hairstyling gels, creams, and lotions category on Amazon. We also found that 60% of women in the country actually have wavy or curly hair, but nobody is making products for these customers. And that was actually quite, it's lying right in front of us, but nobody's catering to this market. And this is actually a niche, and the reason why a lot of people aren't going after these markets are because, one, this category hasn't been created, and two, it looks like a very small category, so we jumped on it. And now 60% of our customers actually have wavy or curly hair, and we're making curls, oils, shampoos, conditioners, creams, all for this market. So by focusing on niches, we're able to, rather than going for a very large total addressable market and trying to capture 1%, we're going to try and capture 10, 15, 20% of slightly smaller niches to help us scale quickly and more efficiently. Now, as opposed to growing on marketplaces, you can actually grow on your own website. It's very easy to go to Shopify, make a quick website. And today, thanks to technology, we don't have to actually, there doesn't have to be a compromise between the product offering of your website as opposed to a marketplace like Amazon or Nykaa or Flipkart. Thanks to, for example, technology solutions like ShipRocket, we can ship to 20,000 pin codes across the country. We shipped through the pandemic, we continue to ship, and we get it there within 2 to 3 days. There's also another tech solution called Go Quick, which is where you essentially just put your phone number on on the checkout page, and you bypass a lot of that whole 10-step process on Shopify where you have to put your name, address, phone number. The reason why I'm giving you these examples is to let you know that if you put your mind to it, you can actually build a website which has a great customer experience, gets to the customer very quickly, and there's no trade-off between, for the customer between your own website and marketplaces. Now, as opposed to discounting as drivers, we've chosen value as drivers. We're differentiating our products. Our products are natural, they're clean label, they're plant-based, they're vegan, they're cruelty-free, they're non-toxic, and we're relying on these value propositions and these USPs to get the customer. Because we believe that if a customer is tempted by discounts, today you're offering a 50% discount, your competitor will offer a 55% discount, the fickle customer will go there. But if you acquire a customer based on the value proposition, the unique selling point of your brand, you essentially own that customer for life. And as opposed to raising a lot of money and burning a lot of money, we've decided to raise a little and grow lean and mean. And by doing that, this may have happened a little bit actually out of choice, not out of choice, but more out of default and serendipity. We'd actually raised our first round of funding 2 years ago, and we ran out of money last year, right as soon as the lockdown happened in March or April. We couldn't meet any investors in person, and there was just, the consumer sentiment, the investor sentiment, everything was really, really poor last year back in March. So we had to figure out ways to conserve cash and to use marketing very, very efficiently. And we did that by focusing on communities, talking to them, and, for example, the curly and wavy-haired community. And what we found was that that's helped us scale without spending money. 94% of our customers have actually spoken to their friends and family about the brand, and that's one way that we've been able to very efficiently acquire new customers. The last point, as you had seen, was focus only on numbers and nothing else. And this is something that's changing, and we're very happy to have been doing this right from the very beginning. We have to be good for the customer, we have to be good for the environment, and we also, of course, have to be good for the business because we are running a business. So we're good for the customer because we don't use any chemicals, we only use non-toxic ingredients, we only use plant-based ingredients. We're good for the ecosystem because we don't test on animals, we don't use any animal-derived ingredients, we don't even use beeswax. We're also sustainable by using 100% recycled plastic. This is not only recyclable, mind you, this is recycled plastic. We went to China and we found a factory that's taking ocean waste from oceans and landfills, melting the bottles, sanitizing them, pelletizing them, blowing them into the bottles, and shipping them to us. Now, this has been expensive for us. It's hitting our gross margins, but we still believe it's very, very important from a sustainability perspective, and that's why we do it. We even use only biodegradable food-grade ink. Despite all of this, we have a 75% gross margin, and we're about 2 months away from being profitable on a monthly level. So rather than building a business conventionally, we've decided to solve problems, add value, and add joy. And this has helped us get from a point where we were doing 1 crore ARR. ARR is annual recurring, annual run rate, to now 30 crores ARR in 3 years. So this was some of the tricks that we used, or the playbook that we used. Nothing right, nothing wrong, but happy to connect with all of you, answer any questions that you may have. If there's any way I can help, would be very happy to do that. And now that I have your attention, just like any good entrepreneur, I'm going to invite you to go to arata.in and use the coupon code FIGITAL25 to get a discount on your first order. Thank you very much.